Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, live the life we love. Of course, don't forget to loaf and to lubricate along the way. In it for the long haul. That's what today's message is all about. Yeah, a trucker's tales of life on the road. Well, that's what that says. But what we're really talking about, oops, I'll get it together in a second here. Be in it for the long haul. Yeah, that's what sadhana is. That's what your spiritual practice is. The corpus of techniques that you use to stay centered and deal with the world. So if you have it in you, you got to show it. Now, I am married to Kali. She dazzles, she delights, and she disturbs, but I'm with her. I accept the fact that there's a destructive aspect, things are running down, whether you call it entropy or just the veil of tears or the nightmare of history, the catastrophe of existence. But I'm aligned with her. I'm not denying that it's there. And even see if there's something that can come out of it. They say once you pass through Kali in the dark side, she becomes the golden goddess on the other side. Now, I accept the amazing variety of human beings and pigmentations, ethnicities, cultural backgrounds, diversity, and so forth. And in the Indian tradition, it's called the Varnas. They accepted the fact that there's a kind of caste system. We may not think of it in the same way, but we recognize that there are different people with different capacities and different competencies. Now, I love this idea. Mikhail Baryshnikov, one of my favorite, Rudolf Nureyev, one of my other favorite Russian dancers. When I miss a class for one day, I know it. When I miss a class for 2 days, my teacher knows it. When I miss a class for 3 days, the audience knows it. Boy, it's so important to maintain mastery to whatever extent you can of your body's discipline. And that displays a certain kind of spirituality. They call it Kaya Sampat, the treasury of the body. Keep working it. I once saw a class by Andres Segovia, a master guitar player. It was called Masterclass. And of course, he had the elite people from all over the world coming to study with him. But who else would have both the ear and the technique to be able to see what someone's doing, able to know what you feel and what you would otherwise not be able to feel or know? In the presence of the master, they can show you how you can further your own discipline. Now, if in the world you have a sense of yourself as a commodity, the world of appearance called Maya, then you are world weary to the job ahead. Like I say, yoga has tremendous amount of riches, but very little cash value. And yet, you're wealthy in a certain way if you learn what the practice has to share with you. Now, satsang, we sometimes say that rarely are two people in the same family born under the same roof, and you have to work to find your tribe. Your vibe is your tribe, your spiritual affiliation, which may not be your blood kin. But family, however you find it, is supposed to be an abiding sense of love and a safety net to fall back on. People say, we got your back, and it's intergenerational. Now, as it says in one of the Upanishads, yoga is the bow and you are the arrow. And you're supposed to set your target on the infinite. Archers, are you ready? Well, then let go. It means also you have to be an acharya. An acharya is someone who not only studies, but you're a practitioner, not just an armchair quarterback. So release yourself toward the infinite. You know something else that's more worthy? Now, just like in the Pinocchio myth, the desire, this wooden thing to become a real boy, there's an animating impulse in us that is delicate, precious, and needs to be protected and nurtured. And so that has to do with our own desires. Hopefully, our desires are not for something cheap, like going to the mall, getting new Nikes or new iPad or a new car or a new fashion. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but we're capable of desires that are deeper and more profound than that. Okay, Charlotte Bronte says intelligence, proper education will give you the independence of spirit. So hold on to your independence of spirit. That's your individual voice. Know how to please yourself, not because you're selfish and narcissistically, hedonistically centered on yourself, but if you're not honest with yourself and honest with other people about what's important to you, then you're denying what they call your svadharma, right? The bhava or the ambience you create around yourself by being true to the values that are most significant, most real for you. And so, if someone has been a lifelong educator, I really feel there's so many people who would benefit by dropping their current perception and widening their bandwidth by having another perspective that lifts them above and maybe gives them a new paradigm shift. So that comes with education. Unfortunately, there seems to be a lot of blowback about education, science, and reasoning in our country in the last 15, 20 years for sure. Now, although Jordan Peterson says a lot of things I don't agree with, he is passionate about articulating your ideas and the importance of speech, clarifying speech, in order to bring the logos, the spirit of reason, into the conversation. So many people talk out of their nose, or as my teacher would say, they're not knowing. So your speech reflects the depth of your understanding. People are never more insecure than when they become obsessed with their fears at the expense of their dreams. Norman Cousins, as you know, he healed himself from a disease by just playing comedy movies for himself. And fear, in its worst manifestation, is false evidence appearing real. Sometimes, of course, fear is a necessary bit of information that could save your life. A lot of times, fear is based on nothing except a projection, a paranoia of what might be, and it never exists. Like Mark Twain says, worry is a tax you pay on a debt you'll never owe. So it's true, your position is not secure, not even in your dreams. That's called anicca in Buddhism, the impermanence of everything. Things are flowing, arising and passing away. The only proper way to deal with it is to continue to let go. So disappointments can alchemicalize you if they don't break you. You have to put the right frame on the situation that you're looking at. That becomes your marga or your path. You know, they say if the way you frame a picture in your mind is like a rat in a maze, look at what that makes you think about. But if you take the same details, same picture of your life, and frame it with, I'm on the road to the center, I'm on the road to the sacred center, look at how that changes the way you view things. I call that alchemicalizing your life. All right, we got a lot of strange brothers and sisters in terms of the way they dress, the way they act, the way they speak, the way they do their accoutrement, their accessories, their hairstyle, their bead, their beard, whatever. No more excuses. Don't judge people. Just move on. Without familiarizing the strange, we mystify the taken for granted. Just do good. Keep it weird. Everybody's weird in some way. Even the Swiss say everybody has a corner knocked off. So can we accept that we need the other, even the weird? Otherwise, there's not community. And then finally, remember, there's always people suffering from things that you can't believe human beings have to go through this. Right? Like a child facing cancer. Their laughter will melt your heart. Their strength will make a grown person cry. If you ever see a child fight cancer, it'll change your life forever. So be brave in the face of your own fears. That's called virya in yoga, because little kids can do it. Seems like it's a shame if an adult can't find that depth inside themselves. And then ultimately, everything we're doing is because we believe in the future. We have faith in the future. So that's the question really to ask. Is the future worth having? Do you have a vision for it? Or do you have rigor mortis of your imagination? Put it together and bring the gifts you have to make the future better for everybody.